G'day folks, just a bit of an update for a nice warm Friday afternoon. It's going pretty well. Got a load of rubbish ready for the tip again. I'm starting to really knock it down now. I've gotten rid of a lot of rubbish. So yeah, big cleanup's going well. I'm going back to work on Monday, Tuesday just to catch up on things. They're falling behind in my absence, which is always interesting to know. And yeah, we've got some important jobs to get out, a lot of aluminium welding in particular. I think they just seem to trust me to do it all, so I'm going in for a couple of days and then I'll take the following week off. So basically from Tuesday night on to the following Tuesday night I'll have my second week of annual leave, which is awesome because everyone loves annual leave and I don't want to forfeit any of it, but yeah, you know how it is. It's always a little benefit you need to take advantage of and use. Well, actually my employer doesn't like it when I have too many hours accumulated. I had something like 170 hours and that doesn't look good on the books. So yeah, once I'm done with outside, or at least partly done to a satisfactory level, I'm going to keep going in here, maybe put another bench toppy thing in here. I've got my grinder and the TIG set up. I'm going to put a green wheel on that now so that I can grind my tungsten. Gas bottle's hiding in the back there for now, but I'll probably look at a better place for it. It's just bit awkward to store it. Yeah, so that area is going to get a bit of a workover for now. It'll be a temporary TIG bay. It's not a big spark area, so I don't want combustibles and things around. Ideally I want to make a rack that fits in between the crane and beneath the electrical panel where that arc welder is, and use that as my my welding equipment. It'll have extra fans and probably even a front grille with fine filters on the front, and yeah, I'll be able to have all my welding gear in there. I'll move the sheet metal storage, that just gets tucked in there loosely, which isn't very good. Likewise, for somewhere to hang the fire extinguisher. I've got two extinguishers. I'll probably hang one of them here and the other one, it's sort of an extra. I've got a CO2 and a big dry chem, so I really need both of them in one area, but I'm going to have to probably clean out in there and just possibly even... Oh, I can't really move this bench along because these things are all screwed to it. It's all part of the wall now. Yeah, or maybe even move this basket of miscellaneous stuff. I'll go through and clean that out and get rid of any unnecessary stuff, which is probably not much of it because there's lots of pieces of P20 tool steel and various other stuff. 710 tool steel. Yeah, I don't know. Overstock. Anyway, I've been working with a bit of hi-fi equipment. I got my new old stock transistors for the Marantz in the mail today from the USA. They were cheap enough, which is good. Come straight out of the USA. Very fast priority mail as well. I can't remember what it is. Music Parts Guy or something like that. Yeah, I think his eBay name was Music Parts Guy or something like that. So yeah, he had lots of new old stock stuff of various amps and musical instruments. I'm still playing with this Sherwood. I have audio up to possibly out of the preamp. Like if I put a resisted speaker across here, left, right and ground, I get output, but it pulls the rest of the system down. I can hear it, but it just tanks the system. I don't get anything here though. I'm not sure if that's preamp or that's just another part of the circuit that's not enabled. I don't have a schematic on it yet, so I'm going to look that one up. But yeah, the center channel works fine. It sounds ballsy. I rebuilt those speakers last night for a friend and I've been testing them on the center channel and it all works well. So I'll put this aside again and come back later. It's just another trash bin find. A modern digital Sherwood amplifier. So yeah, I'll fix the Marantz up tonight and hopefully post a video of it. A few other things to tear through. There's a DLP, the bottom of that 52-inch DLP television to pull to bits. There's an LCD panel behind it to pull out the acrylic backlight diffuser. That material is infinitely useful, so I'm going to be salvaging it out of that one. It's a big 42-inch panel. And yeah, little Ravies are happy and home. Yeah, I'm just going to do a oil change on Betty there. I'm sure she's happy to be with a little partner Blue. I bet you there was some separation anxiety starting. yeah, the lifters haven't quite cleared up, so I'm going to run some heavier grade oil, see if that helps. If not, I'll just put up with it. I was talking to a few guys on Rav4 World, or actually no, I think I just found some old posts on Rav4 World where someone had the same deal. They bought a Rav which had the oil changes neglected or drawn out too long, and the top end just became a bit noisy, and basically they just said either you just put up with it, it's not going to get much worse if you keep the if you keep doing regular oil changes, it probably won't get any worse, but it'll just be noisy. Or you spend the money and get the head rebuilt, or cams and lifters. So I'm in half a mind to just leave it for now, otherwise I'll look for some second-hand cams or better cams, new cams and a set of new lifters and do it myself. Take the whole top end apart, probably throw another timing belt kit in there while I'm at it. This one's 27,000 old, so it wouldn't hurt to throw another belt at it. Same with Blue, he desperately needs a timing belt kit. And that's going to be fun. Blue can be the test subject. I'll do his timing belt kit first and then worry about little Betty's timing kit and top end. Ideally I want them both on the road. I just missed out on an all-white RAV4 Max edition for $1,000, which would have been perfect because it had a tow bar on it. But I should have called the seller instead of just emailing him. So I missed out on that one, but it doesn't matter. It's $1,000 that can be spent on other things. And in a few weeks it'll be $2,000 or $3,000, and you know, you just buy something better anyway. I was actually looking for a Land Rover Freelander, something I wouldn't care so much about butchering and turning into an electric car. But again, the cheap ones are all up north. They seem to cook and blow the head gaskets. There are some up north for like $800, $500, all with the blown head gasket on the 1.8, the petrol engine. There are a couple of cheap turbo diesels that I could have just ripped the engine straight out of as well. But I want one with a 5-speed manual, preferably drivable, that way it's easier to get it home. But if it does have a blown head gasket, I'm not too concerned because the engine's going in the bin anyway. I only want 5-speed manual transmission, and basically just gut all of the engine electronics and things, gut all of that out, rip the exhaust out, fuel tank, the lot, and spend a bit of money on batteries. Like, I don't mind spending $1,500, maybe $2,000 on batteries, and ultimately I'm probably going to end up spending about $1,500 to $2,000 on a high quality 20 horsepower VFD with a DC in bus. That way at least the motor is half the rating of the VFD. I can set the VF curve to like 300% torque and do absolute tyre screaming takeoffs without burning up the drive straight away. So yeah, it's all good fun. That's just a future project though. I can't bring myself to butcher either of the RAV4s yet, but I guess if I buy enough of them I'll find a surplus. I don't want the backyard wall to wall with them, but yeah, they're kind of cool to have around. And there's another project that's been sitting in the spare room for a while. Someone parted it out. They nicked the bloody speaker and the reverb coil, and the amp is stone cold dead, so I don't really know whether it's worth doing much with this, even though I know a lot of Marshall enthusiasts would say fix it. The speaker alone, the original style speaker, 8-ohm, can't remember the name of the manufacturer, they're about $100 plus shipping out of the States, so that's a bit of an investment to begin with for something that I don't need, but I don't know, I do that all the time. You might see me fix it up, or at least get the amp stage working. I can bypass the missing reverb coil. I could even just throw a regular woofer in it and a back panel with a bass port on it and just turn it into a fancy looking subwoofer. That's all that really matters. Hell, if I can get the amp to work in such a way that it will act as a powered subwoofer, that'd make a nice looking unit. I just want to replace the white Marshall badge on the front because half of it's been smashed off. I'll bet you that they're all over eBay as well. I haven't looked yet. But yeah, it's good stuff. I've got my TIG filler rods in. Everything's coming together really nicely. I just got to have another big clean up in here and we'll be right. But for now, catching up on outside stuff, because we've had pretty bad weather. Like, considering I decided to take my holidays now, I wish we had better weather, but what can you do? Cleaned out the spare room too. This was the copier that was in there. I basically gutted it before I could get it out of the door. Get all the weight out of it and I could get it down the stairs on my own. It's still got power supply and digital boards, print server, laser, all that stuff in it, but I've had millions of bits of this over the years and I've never used much of it. So I'll go over and pick out specific bits like fans, a few fans. They're 24 volt fans, so they're not so practical. I'll pull the power supply, things like relays and fuses. That all still works. There's a print server there, it's a PI 5501 print server. A lot of the guide rods, the steel 8 and 10 millimeter rods that go through here, that's really handy machining steel. The optics, oh no, the optics on these don't use a solid rod. A lot of the older ones have a thick solid tool steel rod, which is also good steel, but something like that axle shaft's good machinable steel. No, there isn't a huge amount of useful stuff. There should be an old IDE, or sorry, old SCSI hard drive in here somewhere, unless it's actually in the server. It could be a laptop drive. These old ones typically had them in the side somewhere. Can't quite tell. Looks like there's a Dallas clock chip on that board. That's the main digital board that goes to that drives the laser. Lasers in there, main reflector motors in there. I don't know, there's probably an old SCSI hard drive, like 10 gig or 20 gig in there. But either way, I'm going to pick what I can out of it before it rains next and push the rest onto the trailer. Oh, it's a fair old update for you. I know it's been a while. Well, I've spaced them apart fairly well, so that's why I've got a lot to talk about. But either way, I'm going to do this service on little Betty first and then get on with some stuff inside. Thanks for watching.